Hi everyone, welcome to the episode of the Root Cultures. In this week's episode, we look at why do Platycerium buds drop. So this is a radii round frond, and we noticed that while doing watering, the plant was loose and wobbly. Based on that, we suspected that the plant has a high risk of dropping. So we first have to understand why do growth buds drop. The first one is, every time there's a new growth, the growth bud is pushed to the top. So why this matters is because each time it gets pushed to the top, and as time goes by, and there is an increase in fertile fronds, this increases the weight of the fertile fronds on the growth bud. So to remedy this, you can use bonsai wires or any malleable wires to tie onto the fertile frond and then onto the board. So this helps to elevate the weight on the whole plant. So for the second point, it's specific to radii of the thin, the wide and the round frond. So first encountered this term in a Taiwanese Facebook group, and they call it the walking bud, where radii of this specific type tend to elongate their growth bud if grown in a vertical form. However, if you grow them horizontally, you don't get this issue. It's just the way how the plant is, and also touching on the first point, where each new growth pushes the growth bud upwards, and so the growth bud always tries to be in a position that it's always visible. So what happens is that it has to elongate further and further until eventually it just drops off. So the remedy for this is just to ensure that the growth bud is not elongated. So you monitor the growth bud and to repot the plant almost once every 1 to 2 years. So that brings us to the last point, the third point, which actually is the most critical one. So if the plant is wobbly or doesn't feel stable, typically the issue with that is the root growth isn't that strong. So we first start off by removing all the sphagnum. This must be done as gentle as possible to reduce the amount of stress you're going to give to the plant. So what was noticed is that there is actually very little root growth. So to remedy this, there will be a change of the media to ensure that there are no pests eating the roots. Here is the new media that we're using, just a fresh change of sphagnum, and just ensure that the roots are in contact with the sphagnum. So a couple of reasons why this happens. One of it is pests eating the roots, which is quite easy to resolve. Just use a systemic pesticide, or even soaking it in water or changing a fresh media. That could help a lot. The other reason is that the mound is too tight. Sometimes to get a nice semicircle shape, you can have to keep winding round and round, such that it is too tight and the moss doesn't have, or there is no space for the roots to actually breathe in. So it's actually very compacted and it restricts the growth of the roots. It could lead to root rot from being too moisture retaining within the middle. So the outside could look dry, but inside it is just wet. So there will not be any active or good root growth for that. So to remedy this is not to compact the media too much and to find a sweet spot between having a nice semicircle mound and active root growth. Do let us know in the comment section below what are your ways to combat a falling growth bud. We'd love to hear about it.